Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hi-rez Studios. Gandhi, joined by DM. DM, it is time for the Brazilian regional qualifiers, my man.
That's right. We have 4 teams playing off today. We're going to be starting off with We Love Bacon and Ragnarok.
Best team name ever.
What, Ragnarok?
No, man, We Love Bacon.
I
really hope it's just they come in with like the Epic Mealtime shirt and it's just bacon, 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 bacon. That'd be that. If that was their team jerseys.
I'm actually really pumped to see We Love Bacon, specifically because of one player. It's QE3Q.
Okay.
I'm not sure how that's pronounced. We've always just called him QE3Q, and you'll notice that we said we. We.
QE.
He has been in a ton of my games. I have played with this guy dozens and dozens and dozens of times. He's an incredibly strong player, and little did I know that he was actually playing on 180 to 190 ping from Brazil.
And correct me if I'm wrong, he used to play a mage. Now we find him at the hunter role with a normal ping.
30, 40 ping, yeah.
For those of you at home who have never experienced 180 ping, it's not fun.
No.
I guess would be like the most polite way to say it.
I mean, I just play Chang'e. It doesn't matter what your ping is. You just all over the map.
Waxing moon.
You can't miss it.
Yeah, and then you got to try. Well, your ult. There's sometimes
you can miss the ult.
You could sometimes miss the ult with the 180 ping, but a hunter. You play a hunter at 180 ping, forget about it.
It's very hard.
You're done.
Very, very hard.
Very,
it's a lot easier playing when you don't really have to aim as hard. You don't have to lead shots as much. So I'm looking a lot towards him. I am not super familiar with the other players, so being able to check in with someone that I've seen play so many times before and on his own turf, I'm very excited.
Now, keep in mind this is a single elimination event. We actually already know the outcome, unfortunately, but
you know we avoided it.
My tie. Thank you for telling me my tie's uneven.
What?
I don't know. It looks weird. I'm going to get that. But yeah, we avoided it. So this is news to me. We know the winner, but right. I know nothing else.
See, I didn't know anything until Stu tweeted out, like, hey, here's the winner, DM Brandon. Make sure you cast that today. And I'm just like, God. It was the first thing I saw. I woke up and I usually check Twitter and I'm just like, oh, I'm groggy. And I'm like, wait, oh, that's cool. They won. Oh, that's my job today. Thanks, Stu.
Yep. So, try to cancel out the spoilers if you want in the chat. Other than that, I mean, no big deal. We're not gonna like flame you for it, but we're gonna go ahead and get ready to hop into game number 1. We Love Bacon taking on Ragnarok here. Taking a look at the lineups here, we do have a Sylvanas, Nemesis, Big Baby.
You good?
Yeah, I love Big Baby. You know how I get down.
My man,
Apollo.
QE3Q.
And coming out last year is going to be the Vulcan. So already taking a look at this team.
Very strong.
Very, very strong. On the other side here, though, the two things that kind of jump out to me here are going to be, one, Kali.
I love her.
Very late game.
Yes.
It's going to be very hard to get her on early. And the same thing with Scylla. So we could see a lot of pressure here from We Love Bacon going on to Ragnarok, which could put them in a tight spot.
See, I'm looking at the Osiris here, and this is really strong to me because they have the whole Nemesis baby thing going. He has the physical protection all the way through. The issue is that Nemesis can strip off a ton of those protections, making him a very easy target to gank if he's not careful about where he's using Lord of the Afterlife, how he's using the Tether, or even the slows from the Sickle and the Spirit Flail. He's going to have to be careful, but it looks like we're going to have a 3-man grouping. It looks like overall Brazil has the meta down locked.
Yeah, they do.
This is a very standard opening.
Yeah, very, very standard. And, the one thing that we're looking at here, and I think it's just because I'm so used to Cog Red, right, is Osiris. He decided to go Death Toll, which means he did have a chance to actually grab the Hand of the Gods if they did want to push the double hand. But it looks like they've elected out of that. They might not be familiar with it, or they might think it's not worth it. But we saw Devios completely change the game at the end of
just by walking at the mid camps. Forcing this single hand to use it early on the mid camps has been such an incredible play, but you can see how much damage they have. Right there, Kali taking almost nothing. They still have a Hand of the Gods to blow this one down. So they would, wow, that was very fast.
It was really fast, man. Like, really disgustingly fast. And that's what's going to happen here. So, obviously, the Order side has a little bit of an advantage going into the lane, but look at this, starting off with Nemesis.
Yeah, it looks like they did the whole normal, we're going to do mid camps, go to blue buff, but then instead of going to lane, he immediately splits the red buff, which is going to be a really big play for Vulcan. Vulcan's going to get 2 free camps here that he normally wouldn't get for a couple more minutes. And with that turret doing the work, he's not going to miss any experience in the mid lane. Kali's going to wind up having just as much experience overall. Though she has leached a little bit more between the solo and the mid, Nemesis should be coming around there to make sure that evens out.
And that's huge. The only other team who kind of does something like this is actually Dignitas. Lassus actually saves his hand. He goes from mid Harpies to blue, and then he uses his hand on red, drops down, Naw comes and rotates and grabs it. Fortunately, with Cog Red, he wasn't able to do that. But that's really only Dignitas I've ever seen doing it. I hope it works out because I'm very interested with it.
So this is very curious. This is very anti-European and North American, just in the sense that this has been 100% farm and no gank attempts. Yes. There has been pretty much no damage taken around the board that wasn't just laning phase damage. But you look at the board, and so many players are almost already level 5. I mean, there has been a ton of camp split. Both junglers are doing incredible in that regard. And honestly, that's probably a negative to Nemesis, because as the game goes on, Nemesis gets incredibly strong, but Kali gets infinitely stronger.
Yeah, it's basically 15 minutes. Kali then finishes Chin Size, which then makes her just super, super powerful, and then it's hard to kind of go from there.
Right side, Kali actually maybe looking to make a play here.
Yeah, and we do have Amana there. He's going to be able to clear the path, hops out of there, and that is why the big baby is so strong. He's going to be able to get out of dodge there, just kind of rotate back, and he's got a little bit of life regen, so he should be okay. On the left side here, Apollo and Sylvanas working in tandem, and this lane should have a lot of lane push.
You know, Rama is actually, cited as one of the strongest pushers in the game. I mean, especially in the early game, the Astral Strike is so strong, but there's no amount of damage that you can do in the early game to really contest with Wisps. I mean, they heal for so much.
Yep. Wisp and even just the normal auto attack that's AoE.
That's right.
It's just so difficult.
And it goes, you can aim it, or rather to any part without it getting interrupted. So you can aim it directly at the archers. Make sure that you're spreading them out, reducing their damage. That's a really, really big point as well.
Yep, well, taking a look at the timers here, 3 minutes. That means in about 15 seconds, those mid-Harpies are going to come up, hence the rotation coming out of Nemesis. Working with Vulcan, they should be looking to contest these left side, as you're going to see Sylvanas rotate over.
Has Nemesis used the shield yet? Because right there, she stood into the crush. She didn't use it. I'm wondering if that's reaction time. He didn't want to waste it. Mid-camp's coming up on the left side. We're going to have some big contention here.
Yep, they are going to be able to force him out here. The turret's going to do it. He's going to go for the hand. He's going to be a little bit early, and then Ragnarok's going to be able to take that. In comes a Kali stun. Geb's going to follow up. He's going to run into Sylvanas, though. Oh, here comes Earthshaker. There's going to be a decent amount of damage. Do they have enough to finish the fight, though, DM?
They're splitting their targets front to back here. Scylla in I'm a Monster. Is she going to turn around and swing? No, I think she's going to let this rock. No, she didn't have the time. Vulcan has a really good chance for a kill here.
Yep, Vulcan still trying to push up. Nemesis using the shield, going to dash up. She's focusing the Geb. Not every day do you see this, but at this early level, you can't do it. There's going to be first blood going to Apollo, as he's going to go ahead and rotate out of there. I think if Scylla would have ripped I'm a Monster there was a GG.
There was a chance she could have done some damage. She was too afraid. It seems like nerves are getting to her. Overall, though, that was a 40-second engagement front to back right there, and you got to look at the early hand. That was the trouble. He thought that the Vulcan turret had done enough damage for him to get at least one. Maybe the crush was going to blow up. It was too early. He dropped it.
Yeah, unfortunately for Love Bacon, though, they were able to get the right camps, and then as we take a look at the experience, they're up by about 743, and same with gold as well.
Yeah, which is strange. Usually you see kind of a disparity at this point where there'll be more experience or more gold, but it's right along the margin, which is not too bad. Overall, though, Ragnarok is behind about 4 minutes and 30 seconds into this game. We're going to see camp start to respawn. You see Kali and Osiris on the top there, going for the blue buff. Speed's already done. No other buff really taken. Everyone's kind of a few seconds behind.
Yeah, and noticing that Vulcan's actually rotating over there. It looks like they're going to go blue directly to red. There's going to be the turret down. He's going to make sure the minions take that aggro. This is big.
This is really smart because now they have so much more room to farm. Because before, rather the usual meta, how it works is you see this, the red's not going to be up for X amount of seconds. It usually stays there for about a minute and a half before you get to it, and it's lost wages. I mean, with this strategy, it's just we're getting experience, we're getting gold, back to back to back constantly, and you can see that reflected now. Vulcan level 8 gets a free back to the base.
And this is going to be interesting. As soon as he goes back, he has to ask himself if he wants to run with Nemesis to their speed, because you can already tell on the minimap here, Kali is already going to be in position, which means what's going to happen here is this duo lane's going to shove, and they're going to be together, but we're going to jump on board here with Kali, see if she's going to be able to make a play here.
Yeah, she's trying. She rotates in, looking at QE. He gets a double mez and rotates out. We're going to see the stun there, but too late. Maybe she's bleeding. He's maybe wisping, but he looks like will escape.
Yeah, that's big. That's Apollo, though, for you, right? Here, let me get on my chariot and peace out of here. But this is really big because Nemesis is going to be able to get her speed.
Maybe.
Now, maybe. A little bit here. Kali's going to jump in, and she's able to get it. That's huge.
They might try to turn it around, though. I mean, look at this. The Nemesis ult's off. The Geb shield's already down. The jump's already been used, and he is dotted. How long will it last? Does he have enough health left? The Wisp just barely hits. I don't think it's going to do enough damage, though.
He's gone. Vulcan just kind of doing a little premature ult there. I think he was expecting Kali to kind of rotate up there. They should be able to get both of these Harpies. You can see Vamana on your minimap there. He's going to be able to get the right side, which means he's going to be in a spot for Scylla. Scylla, though, she does have Sentinel. She's in no real trouble here.
You know, so one of the things we talk about is if there's a gank and it fails, or even if it works, the other team has to take something out of it. Now, right there, Kali didn't quite get the gank she was looking for, but they still managed to pick up a big win by stealing the speed. Right there, though, they didn't have enough pressure to continue on because the Vulcan ult did so much damage. Immediately, We Love Bacon just regroups, turns themselves right to the Gold Fury. No problem, 2,500 experience, 2,700 gold. That's huge. In the lead.
That's really, really big in this early lane phase. And the one thing that's really, really interesting to me is the fact that Vulcan hasn't been putting a lot of pressure on Scylla. This lane matchup early on, Vulcan should be going meatball, turret, backfire, and just like half her health gone.
She can't clear it. It's going to take 2 crushes in the first couple levels. There's no reason not to hit her. Force her to make a decision. Either you're going to hit me or you're going to hit the wave and not do any damage anyway. While I'm hitting you for more damage.
Pretty much. And as we're going to see, Kali's surprisingly doing a really, really good job leeching off this experience from the mid lane. She's kind of catering a lot to it, so we haven't seen ganks, but she has no real kill potential on Vamana after level like 7 anyways. And seeing since he's like level 10 now, it's okay.
So I'm looking at Kali. You know, she did opt to go into the boots. That's going to be a big swing right there in terms of gold. It's 2150. You take a look at her actives. It looks like hand 1 as well, so that's another 300. Bumbas, you know, it puts her into the 3,000s. She only has 4,200 net worth. That means we're not going to see, it's going to be at least 2,000 gold from this point for her to still finish chin size, which means we're not going to see Kali for another 8 minutes.
Yeah, another 8 minutes for sure. And she's looking to contest. Now they're like, well, Gold Fury is down. We know because we checked the charts. Possibly a 1v1 here as the team's going to grip. She's going to jump out of there. Mobility on Kali is very, very nice.
That's true. Nimble Strike, very strong. Very quick jump. She has, of course, the power spike as well if someone tries to engage with her stun. You know, something a lot of people don't take advantage of, and I'm going to be looking towards the mid-game here for Kali when they start going for objectives. Is she using that stun to increase her damage for towers, for the Fire Giant? But we're going to see Nemesis pick up another kill there, going to bring them up to 2-0, and that's not a character you want to see get gold already at 5,100.
Well, that's the big thing about Nemesis, right, though, is that it's really hard to not have her, just do amazing early on, right? Like, she slice and dice, does so much damage. Ultimate's going to chunk him right away, and now it's going to be a 1v1 here. Scylla's going to be in the back. Does she have the dash? She doesn't. Sylvanas is going to rotate there, and Osiris is finally going to make his presence known as we're going to see him kind of go all the way back. But he wants to make sure they get this this speed buff. This is actually a really, really good play by We Love Bacon.
I love the greed here. They have the shot. Double hand. That's great communication. The tether's out. It's on 2. They're looking for the big stun, but too many turn it to the baby there. There comes the big shot from Vulcan in the back. Looks like the baby's going to try to chase it down, but Nimble Strike should be able to get him out of there. He's not going to cancel and go for the boomerang. It looks like they're going to turn their sights to Osiris, who probably isn't going to be able to get away.
Does he have the ultimate? Osiris, he does have it, but he is still managing to stay alive here. Now, based on what I just saw out of that Vamana, I think it's safe to say we might see him go into a Hasten Fatalis because no one's going to really put 3 points into speed this early, and he wants to stick on people. Right. Thoughts?
I mean, it could go either way. I mean, he already has a ton of physical defense, and you look across the way, you know, you have Rama, you have Osiris, you have Kali. Realistically, you're not too worried about the Geb damage, and as long as Scylla doesn't focus him completely or his team doesn't allow Scylla to focus a target, he really shouldn't have too much pressure. I would say, you know, chin size, maybe an executioner even, but Hasten Fatalis, once another damage item online, could be very, very strong. But the sprint's up there. He might be going that direction as well.
Good. And it might be a little bit overkill going sprint 3. Because
Hasten,
Hasten might be a little bit overkill, but you never know.
Hey, Speed Boys.
Yeah, Speed Boys. Nothing wrong with that. So I got a question for you, DM. Scylla, right? Everyone knows she's like super weak early game, right? Because you have to just kind of control the minions, right? You have to always auto-attack them and kind of group them up for crush. Why do you still put Boots online if Bancrofts is really what you want to get on first anyways?
Movement speed. Plain and simple. I mean, one Sentinel's on cooldown. She has no movement whatsoever. Sikkim is not one of the easiest moves to hit in the game, and forcing yourself to use an ultimate to gain movement speed is not going to help you. Getting that extra movement speed as opposed to damage, of course, you're going to lose a little bit of damage control, but there's a much smaller way that you're going to die, especially if you have like 1 or 2 wards up and you're fighting someone quick like Nemesis who can, ult you to slow you down. She can hit you with a 2 to slow you down. I mean, she can do a lot of damage. And speaking of slows, Nemesis replies repeated onto my man Osiris here, but the tether will deter once again.
He's got the tether there, so that's going to force Nemesis out. She didn't want to get this done, and it's going to be reducing some damage that she's going to be outputting, but all eyes over here on the Gold Fury side of things. We have Kali going to be pushing in. She's going to jump in. That's a great blink there by Sylvanas. Sylvanas using that active to his advantage here, and as you can tell on the minimap, there's actually a Nemesis all the way in the back. She's going to get caught by Sikkim here, and now she is forced to dash out.
Now, if you missed it there, the shield was really big there because the shield's like, come on, crush me. But the shockwave is a hard CC, so it actually rips the shield right off, allowing the crush damage to go through. So very, very smart counterplay there. Neither team winds up benefiting from that gank. It looks like a lot of experience. It might have even been wasted, but the longer they spend away from the solo lane, the more pressure this Osiris is going to feel, giving more freedom to Vamana.
Now, kind of questionable that Vamana actually took that tower before 20 minutes. Normally, we kind of see the solo lane kind of hold on to it and just continue to farm and level up. He doesn't want to get himself in no man's land, but I guess to clear the path, it's okay?
I mean, it depends. I mean, there's 2 reasons that you don't want to take a tower. One, if a wave gets frozen up near a tier 2, you have to put yourself, like you said, in no man's land to be able to get golden experience, and that's rough. Number 2, having a tower there to strip away golden experience could wind up eating more than 500 in the long run, especially if you're winning your lane by so much. But Vamana wants to control the map. By pushing a wave up there, it keeps him on the literal opposite side of the Gold Fury. I mean, that's pretty much the farthest point at this stage in the game. Eyes on Geb, taking too much damage. Still resets. He finds 2. He's shooting again. He finds the 3rd hit, but it's not enough to deter. The baby's in there. He's looking for big damage. Actually, it looks like he's going to run away. We're turning their sights there to the Vamana, and smartly, Kali will turn over to make sure he can defend, but Scylla keeping the dream alive.
Yes, Scylla hitting 2 humongous IMA monsters. She even hit the 3rd one as well, but it wasn't a kill.
Right.
But that is huge. This might be a Gold Fury in there, but Big Baby says no. He's got one. Can he find the 2nd one? The hand's going to go down as well. He's going to be able to force him out here. Osiris trying to do as much damage as possible, but notice the Vulcan turret is going to force him out.
Oh, are they going to? No, it resets just barely. Baby not able to jump into the tower line to keep it safe. Either way, We Love Bacon finds 1 in there. Ragnarok finds 2 overall. Pretty much an even trade.
Yeah, pretty much. And now we're going to go ahead and see Vulcan kind of return into his lane here. Big Baby's just going to kind of look. He's like, okay, double check in. No one's on it. We're good.
So what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a lot of sentry wards come out, a lot of vision control come out from the guys on We Love Bacon, whereas we're seeing, there was a double ward placement coming out from Ragnarok. It seems like the communicator.
Chunk City, man! Nemesis just destroyed Geb. That's what happens when your ultimate shreds protections.
Osiris is here, no ultimate available. Does have some decent AoE, but Sylvanas is getting low. They still managed to find it. But, all of that right there, that was Nemesis. That was the Nemesis ult, bringing his protections down to nothing. It pains me to ever think that there was anyone in the world that when Release Nemesis came out, they thought to themselves, this is not the best character in the game, because she has been nerfed like 45 times since that point, and she's still incredible.
What you said to me about Nemesis just sounded absolutely scary.
It's hilarious.
Like, just scary.
It's hilarious.
Like, Release Nemesis sounds like my worst nightmare. just everything.
I mean, regular Nemesis is apparently Geb's worst nightmare. He's sitting at level 9 right now. He's 2 Gold Furies down. Can't really put the team on the back the way that we know Geb can. Scylla's had some function so far, but Kali's not online yet. Rama can't match the damage, and so far player-to-player skill of QE3Q. And then my man Aimless with these ultimates has been perfect. I mean, the name Aimless does not apply with the way that he's landing these giant Earthshakers.
And when you just look at the gold between the 2 supports, right? I mean, Sylvanas is at 6,700. He has Midas boots. Geb, 6,100. He has Midas boots. I mean, you can just see how much of a difference it is because he's been in 5 successful team fights.
That's kind of crazy to me, though, just specifically that Geb has died 3 times, has only 2 assists, whereas Sylvanas has died only once and has 5 assists. And like you said, you look at the gold disparity, there's also 600 gold worth of Gold Furies that have been dropped. right? Geb should be farther behind.
Way further.
But then you look at the experience difference. I mean, Sylvanas is about to hit 12. He's just hit into level 10. So there's definitely a disparity, but he's doing a lot better than I think the graphs are giving him credit for.
Yeah, so when you're taking a look at this matchup at home, you're looking at Sylvanas versus Geb. Right now, Sylvanas has another 10 more minutes of complete control in every fight,
right,
to where Geb just becomes insane.
Oh,
Stone Shield will be maxed out. GG.
What is the... No, doesn't find the right pull. The Scylla took the ultimate there, but is kind of wasted. 2 ultimates down just now. Nice crush over the wall. Actually going to spell some damage.
He's going in hot!
One hit's going to do it. Can he find it? Yes, he does. Slice and Dice going to do it.
Slice and Dice finds one. I'm a Monster's going to be proxed up there. She's going to barely miss that one. In comes
Beautiful.
one meatball. Down goes another one. Kali's going to jump away. No follow-up. Blink pull there from Sylvanas. That would have been gnarly. But here is Osiris on the backside. Can he get a kill?
He was trying for the Nemesis. He couldn't quite find it. She dashed past him. They still find 3 in that engagement. They get a tier 1 as well. Not only there, but in the mid lane, the one on the right's already down. You know, I didn't even consider that they got a right tower as well. Geb was actually doing a really good job of keeping himself farmed up, but it's getting to the point where they're not going to be able to compete anymore. It's 12,000 experience. We have 8,200, now 8,300 gold. I mean, that kind of disparity at 17 minutes is life-ending.
Well, what's silly is the fact that there's only a 7-kill differential, too. So when you see those charts, you're like, oh, We Love Bacon's a little bit ahead.
Right, but, you know, this is what we see in a lot of NA teams and a lot of EU teams. It's not something we saw too much from Latin America. It's not something we saw too much in China, and that's if they take something, they will get something else. Yeah. If some team drops something, then they will take something else. Every time that they have gone on Ragnarok's side to go for a gank, and failed, We Love Bacon has taken a tower or a Gold Fury, or they've split pushed for extra damage. Every single time they get a kill in a team fight, they extend it to jungle camps. Their farm in the beginning was super smart. Their control in this game has been incredible, and right now they have the lead to show it.
You know what's interesting is the fact that Vulcan actually went Chronos Pendant before his Book of Thoth.
Huh.
So he wanted to get CDR on, and now a lot of people have this kind of disparity with Vulcan. They're like, do we build CDR on him? Do we go just damage? Do I hit my abilities?
More meatballs the better, in my opinion. I mean, the turret you don't need 1,000 times. I mean, generally in team fights in the late game you don't need it, although it's doing some work to that Fire Giant.
Yep, they are going to be on it here. In comes the ultimate as well. They're really trying to burn this down.
That's an 18-minute FG. There's no way Kali's going to make a line to this.
Yeah, and even if she did, what can she really do? Ultimate's going to go down on Osiris, their nemesis. You can see how strong Osiris is. He's getting all the way out there. Kali's forced to ultimate, and is he going to continue to chase here? He's going to get a little bit of lifesteal here. He will go down. There's one, and that is actually Sylvanas'
I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that.
I think what happened to us is they looked up at the timer and they said 18 minutes.
We have FG.
Does she have chin size?
Yes. Well, you know what? Maybe we just get her killed before something crazy happens. I mean, I thought he's making this is a last-ditch effort. That's what it is. He got some shots off. He's going to dash away, but now Apollo's just going to sprint up. He doesn't even have to worry about the damage. Look at him tanking it. And now he has protections up. He has Fire Giant already. That was a clean burn. Right side, there's going to be a major push. Left side, the split push is coming through. Kali's up in 8 seconds. It looks like they're going to deter.
Yeah, so Apollo's 2 actually gives him protections as well as it mesmerizes your opponents. Positivity. So, yeah, that is why Apollo, like Rama with Astral Arrows, like should be able to win that juking match depending on Apollo's positioning.
Well, not only because they do extra damage, but they actually increase the width of the auto attack itself, making it much harder to dodge. So if Apollo and Rama are both slowing themselves because of the auto attack movement penalty, then he actually has a major benefit because he still has a chance to dodge. You're not dodging Astral Arrows if you're slow. There's just no way.
Well, taking a look here, that's going to be Gold Fury going in favor of We Love Bacon as well. 3 Gold Furies now. Sweet Mother of Mary.
Not to mention a Fire Giant. They have multiple tiers. Actually, they have. Is that all? That's all towers.
Is that 21,000?
Yeah, and you look at the board, and I see 1 level 20. One person is level 20 right now.
Well, it's 19 minutes, right?
Right. I mean, generally speaking, 21 to 22 minutes is where you're going to see the top-level mid laners and solo laners really start to get in. Maybe sometimes the carries, depending on how their laning phase went. Junglers close behind, and then at 40 minutes, we see the supports. In this case, for him to be there at 19 minutes, I think it's actually maybe even a little bit slow compared to how much they've taken.
Yeah, they really have taken a lot. But I think a lot of it is they've been 4-man, 5-man grouping the majority of the time here for the past 3 minutes.
And look at this on the bottom. Speaking of how far ahead they are, Sylvanas realizes I don't need that much more health. I could use with more defense. So he's going into the ward zone. That's going to be a void stone. This increases his defense. It'll increase some of his damage, which isn't great, but a penetration debuff aura to the enemy team, which is going to really, really help out Vulcan, who's already swinging like a madman.
Yep. Sylvanas slowly starting to get up in here. It's going to be all eyes here on the left. Phoenix, slice and dice, trying to get the slowdown, trying to just kind of poke him down just a little bit here. Isn't going to connect with anyone. Vamana's going to go ahead and solo some people out there. And look at Geb. He just got erased. Nemesis dives into the back line. Will he be able to find one? Big Baby comes out, crushing down. Watch out for the fountain. He is able to get the kill there. Apollo's going to pick up one as well. Damn, this is destruction.
Yeah, front to back, there's just no way they can hold this one off. The Baby currently fighting 4 people just freely, already having killed one. I thought he was going to dive in again. I really thought. That's where his missing health is from.
Yeah, his missing health is from diving the fountain. So they were able to take out one. Are they going to go ahead and
No,
go
they got
ahead
2.
Oh, they got 2 already.
Got
so
2.
the final one here. This is going to be the last push. Can Osiris and Ragnarok hold this one, DM?
I just don't see them holding the Phoenix. They might be able to hold the Titan from this rush, but if they back and regroup, it's going to be very, very hard.
So they're going to go ahead and heal up there. Keep in mind, Fire Giant buff is still on We Love Bacon, so the health regen is going to be on their favor. Big Baby's going to go ahead and rotate in. He's looking down 4 people and just saying, whatever, man.
This is actually perfect for them. They get all 3 Phoenixes. There's still 10 seconds left of Fire Giant buff, which is going to give them just enough time to back, spend the money, and I'm sure their golden hand is massive at this point. I mean, look at this. 2,000 on the Baby, 13 on Vulcan.
Does he only have a Witchblade right now, too?
I
know he's got Runeforge.
Let's take a look at the items. Looking at the Baby, he has a Witchblade and Shin size. Let's see what happens.
I think he just... Did he just buy that?
We just switched over. It's the Spectator Client. He just bought a full Magi's. Good luck.
Wouldn't it be nice? That's like the dream, right?
It's like, well, what's my biggest weakness right now? Well, I mean, I guess they could CC me and all kill me at the same time before I can get into my ultimate. So let's make sure that doesn't happen.
Let's make sure. Yeah, so this Vamana is going to be hurting, but QE3 doing an excellent job as well. Sticking with the traditional build. So no unicorn for him, just crushing.
20 seconds left, and actually less now, 15 until Fire Giant is up. And look at the control. Look at the wards on the map. There are helicopters and glowing orbs, and there's just no way for anyone to sneak into this.
Ward, man.
Oh, yeah?
Love it. I don't use it myself because I support SWC.
So what do you use?
I don't know, anything that's the newest thing that comes out in the Odyssey, I just kind of throw in.
Oh.
I showed that off.
I don't know. I just equip, like, if I just buy it, it auto-equips.
Oh.
So whatever is equipped to me now. So
yeah, that's what I was doing. I wasn't expecting you to actually call me out.
Looks like QE's taking some damage here, not doing as much as he normally would, but Fire Giant has taken a lot. He's already swinging for 3. Oh, whoa, the 3 proc on the crit. Beautiful. Already got it. Wisp's going to be able to heal QE back up. This is giving them a lot of pressure. Not only are 3 Phoenixes down, but they have FG, already someone pushing.
Yeah, 3 lanes all the way pretty much shoved up. We saw Ragnarok not too much. Here comes an ultimate out of Nemesis. The Baby's going to be in the back. Baby's going to chase him down. Baby's going to get 1 kill. Looking for the other ones. All the fire minions are going to be on top of the Titan. That's going to be a lot of damage here as they're going to come in. Focus down the Titan. Force Geb out, and Geb is in a world of trouble here as this Titan is just going to get destroyed. I am a monster. Can't hold it. Game number 1 going to We Love Bacon.
A very clean game number 1. 24 minutes, 15-2. It really seems like We Love Bacon has this one on lock.
Yeah, We Love Bacon looks really, really good. Now, it's always interesting, you know, like watching like a team win from order side. Like the view is just so much different to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
Hey, they can do that too. That's all EU was. It's just Aquila winning from order side.
Right?
People
Which is
opting into order.
Well, I think the really big thing there with that is like you just have to control the red buff, right? Like if you're playing order side, you have to control the enemies.
For there, it just seemes like they controlled everything.
Yeah.
They had everything unlocked.
Who were you impressed with the most there? Because I know this is like our kind of first time watching this as well as the viewers at home. Nemesis?
Nemesis. The ults were beautiful. His chases were good. There was one point where he chased into 2 people, and I swear he was dead. And then he realigned himself in the fight to make sure both got hit by the cross-section of Slice and Dice. He did so much damage and then was able to kill a Geb. I mean, that's where I start to be impressed, when you're killing Geb.
The Geb was a little bit interesting, right? Like, his positioning was like, okay, I want to initiate, but we never saw like the actual initiation. It was like he was waiting to hit 1 or F or whatever his key bindings are, waiting to hit F and blink in and ult. but there was never that.
So, that to me, that's the reason I don't really love Blink on a lot of supports anymore. I mean,
Really?
sure, you're getting that hard initiate, but unless your team can follow up perfectly, unless the enemy team doesn't have a plan to counter-engage it, then you don't have that shell, you don't have that weakening curse. And right there, Geb, that Blink wasn't doing him any good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and hop into game number 2 here.